3, 2, 1. Dropping. Godspeed, boys. No way! Oh! Woo! No way! Woo! Oh my God! Woo! You guys have been asking me to do this for years. Comment after comment. Finally, I broke down. I decided, you know what? I'm gonna do it. The hot sauce eye shot. Okay, here we go. Oh God, no, I'm kidding. Hot sauce is not meant for the eyes. Hot sauce is strictly meant for sipping. Cheers. We're doing this raw. We're doing this raw, dog. I hate setting up cameras like this. I like filming in the wild. So this might make people a little bit mad, sour. I've got no idea, but this is all just for fun here. So on this piece of paper, this piece of nice white printed paper. You see this piece of paper? This piece of paper right here holds the secrets. To start this video off, I just wanted to preface that these are all just my subjective opinions and there's no such thing as a worst ski resort. Okay, I just said that for a YouTube title because I figured it sounded pretty good. Every ski resort is amazing. I'm just gonna rank them from essentially where I've had the best time to where I had the less best time. But I've always had the best time anytime you're skiing. It isn't about the size of the resort. It isn't about the terrain. It's about the skier. The skier is the person who can have a good time anywhere. In my opinion, the best skier is the guy who's having a good time wherever he is. It doesn't matter if you're in Beaver Valley in Ontario, or if you're on Whistler Blackcomb and a 40 centimeter deep powder day. Having a good time in the mountains is all about the rider. Has nothing to do with the actual resort. Let's get this party started. Starting off, number 17, Norquay. Norquay, one of the most beautiful hills I've been to, but it's a carver's paradise. It's groomer land, man. It's hard packed. I know when it gets a good pow day, it's a fun resort to be on, but you don't got, any high speed chairs on the steep terrain to really take advantage of the pow. Some people might argue it's the best place to be on a powder day because less people, lappable chairs. No one's skiing your line. You could probably ski the same run 20 times, put every track into it, which makes it special in its own way, but still lower on the list for me. Number 16, a bit of a rogue one, Baldy. So Baldy is a super small kind of mom and pop style resort just outside of Oliver, BC. And I had an absolute blast there. I love that place. It's strictly tree skiing, pretty mellow terrain. Snow's deep because it's such high elevation, which makes it fun, dry, fun snow. Great vibes, old slow chairs, but it's lower on the list just because there's not, an alpine or steep runs or things like that. But 100% it's somewhere that I would put on my ski bucket list because it's just so old school and so fun. You don't got a lot of resorts that ride like that anymore. One of my favorite memories of last year, honestly. Number 15, Sun Peaks. So Sun Peaks, lots of terrain. One of my favorite resorts in BC. The reason it's lower on the list is because it's just not that steep. There's not that much ball busting, intense terrain to ski on the Sun Peaks side. The snow on Sun Peaks stays pretty cold and is usually quite nice. But even when you get a deep dump, a lot of the runs aren't steep enough to really give you face shots all day, charging type of thing. I had one of the best carving runs of the year at Sun Peaks last year. So nothing beats going to Sun Peaks and getting out for a carve. And I think Sun Peaks is one of the best spots to go with a family or if people of varying skill levels. Everyone can have fun. The village is awesome. So Sun Peaks is somewhere I visit all the time. I can't wait to take my own family there one day. Number 14, I've got Kimberley. Kimberley, super, super cool resort. Kimberley was a bit more hard-packed spring conditions when I went, so I didn't get to experience that Kimbo Pow Day. It's more of a mellow resort. It doesn't really have any high alpine or anything steep. You might be catching a trend here. Nothing in the top low part of the list has a high alpine. I kind of like that. It's more mellow runs. The groomers are wide and they're big and they're fun. Such good groom terrain. The bumps are great. The trees are great. Kind of just fun, chill runs, super approachable for everyone. Other than the main high-speed quad, the chairs are slow, so you're not lapping too much vert, but there's not too many lines and not too many people there. I think the thing Kimberley was missing for me was definitely just steep terrain, the alpine, and I didn't link up a POW day. Other than that, kind of reminds me of like a bigger version of Baldy, like just really fun, really good people, good vibes, and you can't go wrong. Number 13, Big White. Now that might seem low on the list for a lot of people. Big White's a really fun resort. The reason I got it at 14 is because I've skied there 3 times and I'm yet to have a bluebird day at Big White. I haven't seen it. I've had a lot of fun. I believe it's on the powder chair, ripping through the trees. Some of the best tree skiing I've done is at Big White, but I still haven't really seen it. So the lack of visibility kind of gets to me. And it's lower on my list. Maybe next year when I do this ranking, it'll be higher because I might be able to see, but that's kind of the bottom line. Everything else about it's awesome. I think it's got good flow. I like the little village that's at the mid-mountain. Like, it's just a cool vibe. But at the end of the day, you know, if you can't see it, you can't ski it. And it's a whiteout a lot of the time. Number 12, Apex. Some people call Apex Scrapex, which I get. It was a bit icy when I was there, but I had one of my most fun days of the year at Apex. I thought it was an incredible resort, and I was surprised with how varied and fun and challenging the terrain actually was. I linked up with a couple cool locals. Shout out if any of you are watching this video, say hi in the comments. You guys rocked. But they showed me around, and it's an extremely fun resort. I don't think I've skied, you know, so much vert in a day in a long time. You've got one high-speed quad, very similar to Revy, that you just lap all day. You kind of peel off the sides and spread out wide and then ski down and end back up with the same chair. So it's quiet, didn't wait in the line, and it allows you to just lap a ton of vert. And the whole mountain Apex is pretty damn steep. There's also some slack country access out there too, and I think, yeah, that was one of the biggest surprises for me this year, how fun that mountain was. Almost to the point where I thought Apex was better than some of these bigger mountains that I went to, but Apex just doesn't have the pure raw size to beat out some of these big boys. Number 11, Castle Mountain. I gave Castle such a high rating because honestly, there's just nothing like it out there. The chairs are old. They climb some serious vert, and the chutes on the far side are absolutely sick. The wind blows in and blows all the snow into the chutes going off the far side. They're steep and they're freaking long. You're just skiing down a football field, triple football field length chute. I don't even know how many meters that is. And turn after turn after turn after turn. Castle had some great tree skiing. I think it's just got a lot of depth for its small size. And the snow's light and dry, old school, quite quiet. And I think it's kind of a rogue heavy hitter. And I had a really, really good time at Castle. My number 10, Panorama Resort. Panorama really surprised me. Panorama is epic. Panorama has some of the most fall line skiing I've ever seen. And it's steep. It's really, really steep. The Beast Zone, super sick. I think it's called the Summit Chair there. I might just be making these chair names up at this point. Also, runs down from there are very sick. I think it was called like the Field of Dreams or something. I can't remember. I got no notes taken down. But off that summit, there's a bunch of steep pitches all the way back down to the bottom. You can ski some serious vert. Some of the groomed runs as well at Panorama are absolutely amazing. And it's no wonder some of the most goated skiers come out of Panorama. The only thing it's missing is a lot of snowfall. It's lacking snowfall, but it has the terrain. If Panorama got the snowfall that Whistler gets, that would be a top of the list mountain, man. Like, it is, the terrain is that cool there. So lining up a POW day there would be a big dream of mine if it ever happens. But until then, you know, a man can dream. Number 9, Silver Star. Silver Star, in my opinion, is super underrated. I had a bluebird, slight dusting day there and skied POW all day. There's the backside section of Silver Star, which is all just double blacks, and it's essentially like you're skiing chutes between trees. Like, it's almost like they're couloirs that have no rocks, just trees that were cut out. Super, super steep, right back down to the chair. And there's like 40 or 50 of these runs off the backside, and it's just epic. I also had some fun laps getting creative and jumping off stuff over on underneath the gondola. I think Silver Star doesn't get hyped enough for how good it is. I think people might get turned off by like how many bumps there are on the backside, and I might have just lined up a soft day. But overall, like it's a sick hill. Like I'd go back there anytime, play around on that backside. So it's well deserving of the number 9 spot. Coming in at number 8, Whitewater. The snowfall is just epic and it's quiet, and I think it's some of the best tree skiing in the world. I'd go ski Whitewater any day. The place is an absolute blast, and I love Nelson. Weimer Peak right behind it, also sick. You can quickly blast up it and ski some sick lines coming down that. But Whitewater, totally worth all the hype that it gets. The tree skiing there is just crazy, and I'm a huge fanatic for tree skiing. So number 7, and this might be controversial for a lot of the people listening to this, for me, Revelstoke. I think Revelstoke personally is a bit overhyped, and I know it's going to piss people off, but I think the real beauty in Revelstoke is its location, kind of the slack country, and the ability to just leave town and go to a bunch of sick ski touring routes or go off on a sled. The resort itself, I think is lacking a little bit. I haven't hit a big snow day. They've got great trees. They got like a solid alpine area, a couple bowls, not overly big. But I haven't felt that like Revelstoke that so many people get. I've been underwhelmed both times that I've been to Revelstoke. I understand the draw. I can see the potential, but I just haven't personally experienced that potential. And the flow of the mountain's pretty weird. Like you end up kind of going off fall line and then traversing back in. So I never feel like you're skiing fall line for that long when you're at Revelstoke. So I know people in the comments aren't going to be happy about that one. Coming in at number 6, Lake Louise. Lake Louise, I wanted to give it a higher spot, but I didn't, and it's because of lack of snowfall. Lake Louise has some of the coolest terrain and the best views I've ever seen. Terrain's super varied. There's tons of spots to explore, tons of places to challenge yourself. Such a cool resort, so fun, but it does not get the same snowfall as a lot of these BC resorts. Louise on a powder day would be epic, but it gets more of these drip snowfalls where the snow kind of just, 5 centimeters here, 8 centimeters there. It's not getting these 40, 50 centimeter dumps, which make for crazy, deep ski days. But still makes for very good skiing because the snow stays cold and dry and you can ski it for a long time. I had a lot of fun skiing at Louise, the Alphabet Gullies. I had a lot of fun going off like the ER6 or ER3 it was called, off Eagle Ridge. I thought that was an absolute blaster. Absolutely loved Lake Louise, and 6 is a solid spot to be. I think that's a place you have to go. And if you're going to Louise, you're doing it in conjunction with Sunshine with Norquay, just the way it is. You ready for the top 5? Well, here we go. All these top 5 are mountains I could live at and ski at full time. Number 5, Red Mountain. 2 seasons in a row, Red Mountain has just given me so much pleasure. The first season was one of the best pow days I've had in my entire life, and the second season was a sunny corn snow day, but still was so fun. I think Red has some of the most unique, creative, steep skiing terrain that I've seen at any mountain. It's just teething with natural features. There's nothing really like Red out there. It's lacking in terms of, I think, kind of lift infrastructure to a certain degree. You're not getting up all the chairs super fast. They're slower, older chairs. That's kind of the charm of the mountain, I guess. That's what's lacking, but the terrain there is just exceptional. Being able to ski off in 360, I think there's just so much to be uncovered at Red that I haven't uncovered, and every time I've gone, I've had just such a good experience. So very, very easily takes the number 5 spot for me. Coming in at number 4, I've got Fernie. You'll probably remember the videos from last year. Skied Fernie 2 different times, kind of a similar situation as Red. One day with a bit of fresh snow, and another day kind of in the spring where it was a bit more kind of corn snow. Fernie's got so many layers to it. The flow of the mountain's a little funny because you got to taxi up 2 chairs, but from the top there are just so many options you can ski. If you want to ski extreme, coming off the Polar Peak, absolute blast. It's a cool flow to the mountain. Like you get on all these ridges and then you can ski into one of the 5 bowls. There's a lot of diversity in the terrain. I don't feel like it's a mountain you can really get bored at. The knot chutes were fun. Fernie was a blast. I had a blast there. I could see myself living in Fernie. Like that's the real telltale. If I go somewhere, I'd be like, I could live there. Fernie genuinely just really, really won my heart. It's a great town, good people, great skiing. Number 3, Banff Sunshine Village. Sunshine Village just was such an unexpectedly fun time last year. And it's an interesting mountain because it goes 0 to 100 so quick. It's either pretty mellow and chill, or you go off the back of Delirium or Wild West and you're skiing unimaginably crazy terrain that's sanctioned on a ski resort. And that's, I think, what made it so cool for me, is that kind of more mellow, open groomer runs. Like, you're just in it. You're in the Alpine. You can see Mount Assiniboine. It's breathtaking. And then you've got these crazy inbounds chutes and runs and pillow lines, and there's a lot of depth to Sunshine. It's the kind of place I could definitely see myself living. I had so much fun there and would go back in a heartbeat. Sunshine Village, absolutely sick. Was an easy choice for number 3. Now you're gonna know what my number 1 is after I tell you number 2, but here it goes anyways. Number 2 is Kicking Horse. Kicking Horse is the craziest ski resort on earth. There's no denying that. The terrain is absolutely ball-bustingly terrifying, and it's so much fun. I had it on a deeper day last year. I've had it on a harder pack Bluebird day, and I've had great times every time I've gone. There's just so much to explore and challenge yourself with. It can't really be beat, and the laps are so cool. You do these huge steep runs, gullies, couloirs, and then you come out and you ski some trees, and then you do a sick groomer to the bottom, and you go up the gondola, and you do it again. I find it just pretty damn incredible. If Kicking Horse got more consistent snowfall, it would definitely be my number 1, but you really can't beat the terrain at Kicking Horse. It's genuinely out of this world. Well, finally, the number 1 on my list, surprise, surprise, the one and only, my home resort, Whistler Blackcomb. Objectively looking at all these and pulling away any bias that I have, I still think Whistler is the best resort. The lines absolutely suck. They're miserable. The lines suck. It can be a stressful place to be. But once you understand how to navigate Whistler, the flow, where you want to go on a pow day, and you ensure you're not making any wrong decisions on bigger days, there's honestly no better mountain to be at that I've been at thus far in the entire world. Whistler is absolutely sick. There's just so much variety. You're getting 2 mountains in one, right? Like Blackcomb or Whistler themselves are the size of all the other mountains on this list. So much variety, so much steep skiing, such great slack country. Whistler is the clear winner, and it gets pretty much, I think other than Whitewater, the most snow on this list, and lots of it. So Whistler Blackcomb won this year. Let me know in the comments what your top 10 or top 15 mountains in Canada are, or even let me know what your top ones in the US are, because I'm gonna try and hit some this season. I hope you guys found that kind of fun, me talking through kind of my ratings of all the resorts I've been to last year. If you want to learn more about any of these resorts, you can check out my full ski resort review videos, or you can just watch the videos, called My First Time Skiing Fernie or My First Time Skiing Kimberley, those kind of things. Those videos will give you a really good idea of what the mountains are like. And I always make those with the goal of kind of showing you guys what the mountain is like, so you have an idea of what to ski and what to do when you're there. There's my list. Let me know in the comments what you don't agree with. Let me know what you agree with, and let me know what your top 10 or top 15 would look like. Since you guys liked the review videos so much last year, I'm gonna start releasing a series of just review videos for you where I review in more detail some of the mountains that I have on this list. I think it's a good thing that for people to be able to learn about and access for the rest of the year. Winter's coming soon. I've still got 1 September ski day left that I have to figure out. And I'm kind of waiting on it because I'm hoping that there's going to be some snowfall in September and I could ski some fresh stuff. October, we will for sure be on real new fresh stuff, for sure, without a doubt. So hopefully you like this one. Hopefully it was fun. It's time to start getting stoked for the ski season. And most importantly, stay spicy. Sayonara, folks.